Hello everyone, this is Al and welcome to another Ottoman guide. The previous guides I've made is more easy to perform. This one is a little bit harder to perform, and but I think it has a lot of potential if you're good at doing many things at the same times. I know I'm not good at that, but I have practiced this many times to get it down, and I'm starting to be comfortable with it. I think if you are good at doing many things, you can really do harm to the opponent. This is basically a heavy darkage pressure, which snowballs into feudal and later castle age. So, what we're doing is basically a tower rush, and we are not gonna use the military school because that's just too slow. Instead we're gonna use the barracks, and the reason why we are using the barracks is first of all, you are starting with extra wood as the Ottoman civilization, which allows for you to get out early spears faster than any other civs can. And yeah, that's basically the benefits why the Ottomans can do this and no other civ. English can do a man-at-arms rush at the quite the same timings, but I don't think they can follow it up with a tower rush as well. Now, so what you want to do when you first open, this is the first part that is a little bit tricky until you get the hang of it. So first of all, you're gonna select your TC, queue up some workers. You're gonna take the villagers and kill the sheep, move the sheep closer to the TC. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 2 of the workers and send them to the closest tree. You take 1 of the workers and put down the barracks first, and then queue up a house. Now, as an Ottoman civilization, you normally want to place, think about where you're placing the production buildings, because you want to be able to put them around the blacksmith in a good way, but just don't bother with thinking about that now. You can do that with later production. Just get it down as fast as possible. Also, what you don't want to do is block any of the trees. You need all the straggler trees around your TC. When you're done with the first part, you take your scout and you pick up the first closest sheep, and then you send him to the opponent's base. So here is how it looks. And there we go. Now, in your head, think about the positioning of your base. What you're doing right now is you start putting down your hotkeys. So you hotkey your TC, your barracks, and you take 3 of the food villagers. That will come in handy for later. You put them in a hotkey group as well. And in your head, I want you to imagine these 3 trees. I want you to give them a number like 3, 2, 1. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these 2 villagers that is on the trees. You will shift queue them, so they will first cut down tree number 2 and then tree number 1. So 3, 2, 1. Remember that for later. So here we go. And scout goes away. Now, it's very important as well to make sure that you kill these 2 sheep, because if you have the animation, you will be delayed. So it's very important that you kill the sheep once it's you can do it with the villager that comes out. Immediately when the barracks is done, you want to start producing the spearmen. I was a couple of seconds late, but that's okay. You want to do it right away. The scout that goes, you want to make sure to pick up any sheep along the way. You will be needing those. But then when you find opponent base, you start checking around where to attack. Normally you want to hit the gold, because you will be having such a good timing with your spearmen that you can actually start denying their age up. So here we go, and as you can see, with the 2 villagers that are gathering wood and rallying all the villagers to the sheep, you can continuously make both villagers and spearmen. And you will be doing that on a very tight budget. So you can see here, just as the villager will be completed, I will be able to get a new one. You will have a little bit of a pause between the 3rd and the 4th spearman. But that's okay. So now we have 3 spearmen on the way, and I will soon be able to get the 4th one. Always prioritize getting the villagers like this. So, what you're doing now, you can see here I arrive at the enemy gold at 142, and since this is an HRE player, he will need to mine 200 gold, which he hasn't. Also the AI starts mining quite early, so I've met opponents that only need 100 gold that isn't done mining yet. So this is the perfect time if they have front gold. Now remember the thing about the 3s. These guys are rallied to number 2 and number 1, and the hotkeyed villagers that you selected from the start, the 3 ones, they will go to number 3 and then back to 1 and then to the wood line. The same with these guys, of course. They will also go to the wood line when they're done. And you send those 3 away at the moment you start producing the 4th spearman. And you can see here I have a working going out. This was when I had 8 on food. I selected the TC and sent number 9 to the front line, and then I rallied TC back to food again. The scouting pattern, as you can see, we went down through his base to see what he has, and then we go around. I think he is, yeah, I found a sheep there, but you want to get a good view of the base, and then bring back some sheep. We just continue on, and here, okay, don't mind what the AI is doing. He's Papega, but the thing is that you can start doing damage here at this early point in the game, and you also have a lot of spears coming. Back at home, you will continue rally to sheep until you have 8 again, and then you will rally to the gold. With this amount of workers on the wood, you can see I already have 100 wood for my tower, and that's about the time that the villager comes. And we can start denying resource. Alright, so in a previous video I talked about the placement of outposts or the towers, and I said that you should always put it on wood. Later on I saw a beastie guide when he explained the whole thing and where to put towers, so I suggest you go and check that one out instead, because he's obviously much better what he's doing than me. But frankly, if you're playing versus HRE, they want to get a lot of gold, so tower the gold. Yeah, here we go. At one point you will bring a wood gatherer to build another house, and then bring him back to the wood. The same pattern again. There we go, 8 on the food, rallying to the gold, bringing in the sheep just in the nick of time. and the opponent will be having a very hard time trying to deal with this situation. The tower will most likely go up with this many spearmen protecting it. And now I'm just guarding the villager. You could be sending 2 of the spearmen off at this point to start maybe checking this gold. Yeah, that's what I do. And you put 2 workers, 2 spearmen in this tower to have some arrows, so they just can't burn it. And then you will be ready to have the next tower. There we go. All right, so far we're doing good damage to the opponent. Of course, this is an HRE. He doesn't react. Sorry, this is an AI, so he doesn't react like normal people. But you get the point. You're able to do a lot of damage, and if you're higher skilled, you might even send some of the spearmen off and start checking other resources. I'm not keeping my scout around, by the way, because I need to get more sheep, so I don't run out. Okay, back to the build. We're putting 4 workers on the gold, and we're aging up with 4 workers from the sheep. Yeah, once you get 4 on gold, you rally back to the sheep again until you're able to age up. And what you want to do is that you want to keep track of the gold. You want it to go down to 3,850. Then you're gonna take the gold villagers and put them on the stone. They're aging up with the twin minaret madras. Waiting for the gold to settle. Yeah, overgathered 4 gold. That's okay. I forgive myself. Thesis continues to rally to the food. Now, why are we getting the 50 extra gold and start mining the stone? It's because you're most likely gonna want to upgrade the arrow slits for the towers, and you need 25 gold each. So I can upgrade these 2 towers with arrow slits. Of course, if you chose to get a 3rd tower, you will need to mine another 25 gold for the upgrade for that one. But I would suggest not going for more than 2 towers. Then just send the villager back home or start gathering. You can gather in the front as well, but I like to send him home just because of safety. So continuously rallying to the sheep, and from here on out it's up to you kind of what you want to do with this position you put yourself into. You're gonna have a little bit later age up than the opponent if he was able to gather the gold. That's okay. There we go, 616. That's a pretty okay age up with considering the early pressure that we made. What you want to do as soon as you age up, you want to put down a stable. In this case I had enough stone to get both a military skull going and also get the arrow slits upgrade. You see, both towers gets arrow slits. These for some reason selected to go there. And I'm a little bit late on the stables, so you should go right away. Because you want to be... the most likely response from the opponent is archers, so you want to get horsey boys out. Alright, there we go, stables. And yeah, as I said, from here on out it's up to you how you choose to play it. Either you go into a more feudal heavy play, then you might want to send some more workers to the wood. You want to gather up so you have an extra 100 stone for the next military camp. Then you send these to gold for upgrades or stuff like that. and you just leave one worker to gather up an extra 100 stone for the third military school. All right. Later on, I have chosen to start going for the field work vizier point instead of the Anatolian hills. But it's up to you as well. If you didn't get much sheep, you might want to go Anatolian hills for the extra sheep, just until you can start getting an army up and you can start taking resources on the map. But here, in this case, I managed to get plenty of sheep and got the opponent quite boxed in. These guys are really good to have if you're going for a pretty fast castle, or if you want to play around in feudal, they can heal with their aura. But if you go for a fast castle, you can put them on picking up the relic as soon as you age up. In this game, I chose to get some Sipadi out, just to start putting some pressure. I'm putting the military school on Sipati as well. And I wanted to see what my opponent did. So getting some Sipati out, you can start raiding with them, check for additional resources, bring your scout with them so you can see where the opponent is gathering. And I often like to, if I'm possible, I want to get to castle as soon as possible. So that's why I'm sending a lot more workers to the gold, just balancing up the economy a bit, so I can get there. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's just speed it up and see what you can do with this. Alright, and here you can see, as I'm getting ready to age up, I send my imams out to be ready to pick up the most contested relics first. I go with the Mehmed Imperial Armory and start adding some production. I'm keeping a lot of workers on gold since I started making units in feudal. I want to be able to upgrade them. I'm not gonna go for a like I did in the other videos. I made pure man-at-arms. This time I'm gonna play with more cavalry focus, but of course that's up to you as well. And here you can see, can start snatching up the relics as soon as possible and bring them home. And what I like to do, it's not often that you have enough wood to both get all the production that you want and as well as getting the mosque. So I usually just carry the relics back and then send them out again, so you can get the relics into your base as soon as possible. But when you have the resources for it, okay, of course, get some mosques. And at some point, you probably earlier than this, you will have to go to new food sources, of course. And I think also that once you have started getting some pressure on the opponent, yeah, you send extra workers out to the stone to be able to gather up for a second TC, so you can start getting that worker count up, because now you're quite low on workers. And this isn't an this is quite normal in my games where I play, that I enable to get every relic with this build, which gives you a lot of gold, so you can transition to other resources with the gold workers. Somewhere around here we can start making a TC. There we go. And that's kind of the end of it. You can just start pushing in. Alright, so is this a viable build? I believe that if you are capable to do many things at the same times, the start, as I said, I have practiced it like I think 20 times versus the AI, because I am quite slow in my I have a quite low APM, I guess I would say. But if you're comfortable with doing many things at the same time, it won't be an issue for you. If you're not, open matches versus the AI and just practice the first part with the workers and the placing of the barracks and the house and the scout. Just train that for like 5 times before you add an opponent, and then start adding the managing of the spears, because you don't want to lose the spears early on. And also with going, sending the villager out, and then not forgetting to send the TC back to the sheep again. Stuff like that is something that I struggled with in the beginning. Remembering to send the 3 villagers out to the tree, making up in your head that 3, 2, 1 trees helped me a lot in how to do it. So yeah, let's go see a game where this was performed. As you already know, I play around in the Diamond League, so and it's totally viable here. If you're playing in lower leagues, or I believe it's even viable in higher leagues as well, if you are able to perform it like in a good way, not losing any spears, getting the tower up at key positions, stuff like that. Alright, so this is a game versus a Chinese opponent. By the way, I wouldn't recommend doing this versus an English or a Rus opponent, because first of all, English can just shoot your spearmen, and Rus, you don't really have much resources to deny early on. They have sheep under TC, and woodline is pretty close to TC as well. You can try it out though. Some maps it might work to tower rush the woodline, but I would not recommend doing it versus Rus or English. So here we go, this match. Now we're having a real opponent. I can put on the caster mode as well. Shift it to Resus. I can speed it up as well. The build, you already know it. We can see what happens instead. And this guy is doing he told me later on he was doing the beastie build. Yeah, and he also has back gold, which is bad for me, because I want to be able to hit this as soon as possible. But Chinese tend to go for a later mining camp than other civilizations. So now I found this gold, I'm sending my spearmen there. And the point here isn't that to completely deny the H-up. The Chinese will always be able to H-up with their Imperial official. Here is a little slow to react, but the point is that you're able to put some pressure. You're forcing a reaction, and here you're starting to burn down the camp. Instead of towering the gold in this one, I saw that he was having his mill forward, and the Chinese love to gather from the mill, so they get the tax. So I put my tower down to get that area instead. And if we shift to his point of view, I'm putting it just outside his range. I could have put it a little bit closer, like here, but it is just outside his sight range, and with the upgrade it might be able to. It at least denies him from taking the berries. So yeah, I could have gone a little bit further with it. But now he's aware that I have a tower here. I'm putting on the caster mode again. The villager, I saw he was mining wood over here, so I decided to make a tower to deny that one. I sent my spears around to protect the villager, because they were done at that side. I'm not gonna bother what he is doing. He wants to go and burn the tower, but gets greeted by some spears, and he can't do much about it. Well, if he would attack it with all his workers, he will definitely kill the tower, but that's a lot of idle time for him, so it's good for me. I decided to put my tower a little bit more offensive to be able to hit this and also the wood line. And he's forced to send his sheep back to the TC and gather from there instead. In this game I think I over-gathered gold quite a lot, but that was okay. I can spend the extra gold on upgrades instead. Yeah, you see there I have 129 gold now, which is too much. That's okay. Either I can get one upgrade or I can still get my arrow slits and just have a little bit of spare gold. So here we go, get me a military school. I think I'm adding the... yeah, I was a little bit low on food, so I had to go out and get some berries. Blacksmith and then a military school. Okay, I did it wrong. I should have gone for the stable right away. So that's my bad. But I'm putting these on Sipati, I think. Yep. I had to go out a little bit more. But he was all locked up in his base with the towers, dealing with that situation. As you see, he was on archer range. That's a natural response to this. Oh, I even got an archer range. That's really bad. Never mind. And there we go. We can get some H up. I decided to go fast castle here because I was thinking that he's probably gonna go to TC since he had protected stone and he was able to protect the wood. But instead I saw he started to get troops and also investing into battering rams, which is perfect. I know he's even more behind with that. And he has most likely not gone for a second TC. So here we go, HL comes down. And I start to produce, yeah, some knights. I forgot to send out my imams in time. There we go. And now he's trying to get to the castle later as well. I'm starting to get the relics. I try to send down a raiding party. But yeah, we don't have to go through the whole game. You get the point. I'm in a very good position here. And it all comes down to the initial tower rush, which bought me time and momentum in the beginning. Alright, well, that's it for this guide. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually enjoy playing this way a lot. Some people believe that tower rushing is cheese, and they are allowed to believe that. I love this way of playing, and it's quite common, similar to the way the Mongols play. So I figured, why not? I think this even is more powerful than the Mongols, because you get to the enemy's base at much sooner than the Mongol can. The Mongol have to invest first 150 wood for the uvu, and then another 150 wood for the barracks, while you only invested 100 wood for the barracks. So you will be ahead, and if you're able to punish the Mongol player's uvu, if that's exposed, that's perfect. He will have to make the barracks in his own base or just age up normally. And if he places the barracks in his own base, yeah, well, then he's very far behind. If he has an exposed goal instead, then you can just start attacking there, and he will most likely send his spears to address you, and well, you're not gonna get tower rushed, at least. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this guide. Please let me know what you think about it down below, and I'm sure I will come up with a new guide for the Ottomans later on. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.